In this video, we're going to take a look how Aphelion Esports were able to take down the world champions, Crazy Raccoon. All right, as we hop into the first set on Open Zone, this was the East Asia Monthly Finals semi-finals match, by the way. So either way, East Asia drafts are a little bit insane. They're going to first pick Penny. They go Janet and Lola, which are two solid answers into Penny. Penny's a really problematic brawler. I love that pick by them. But then they followed up with Byron and Belle. Now, I think Belle is very, very solid. Don't get me wrong, but the Byron just feels out of place in this draft to me. And then they also Aphelion Esports last picked Meg, which I actually think works very, very well here, but we'll get it more into that as we hop into the game. But before we continue with the video, I want to thank the sponsor, Samsung Galaxy, and their newest S23 Ultra. Now guys, this phone is actually meant for gaming. It has the fastest Snapdragon platform ever, which means for an insanely high frame rate, which equals extremely smooth gameplay. Now, not only that, it also has an extremely long battery life, so you can literally game all day without worrying about it dying. And they also made improvements to the cooling system so that when you're gaming all day, you don't have to worry about it overheating when you're in an insanely intense showdown match. Now, the S23 Ultra also has awesome adaptive display features. That way, if you're playing in the sun or if you're playing at night, the screen will automatically adapt and look so crisp while also not hurting your eyes. And last but not least, it has a built-in S Pen where you can use it to draw, write notes, sketch, and so much more. If you guys want to check out the S23 Ultra, make sure you go down in the description down below to check it out. And again, thank you to Samsung for sponsoring this video, but let's get back. All right, so as we're hopping into the first game, you're gonna see some pretty interesting stuff going on right off the bat. So we have Lola mid versus Belle, which is definitely in favor of the Belle. We also have Janet on the right side versus Byron, which is also not really very easy for Janet to push up. Now, the only decent matchup here, I would say, is probably Meg on the left side versus the Penny. It's still not great, but it is the winning side, and usually that side is pretty easy to win. Doesn't really matter the matchup too much, but you're gonna see Meg get mechs pretty early, but they're still down a little bit of control. And you can see that Milkrio is gonna be struggling on that right side with Janet, dropping turrets as much as possible to kind of like push them back. But again, they're losing this right side pretty hard, and it seems like CR or Crazy Raccoon is gonna get a lot of control right off the bat. Probably getting close to a Penny turret right about now. I like the fact that you're saving the Penny turret. Also, I think Tempo thought he was going to survive, but it doesn't really matter because they can't really get that turret out of the corner. So far, pretty even game, but I will say I do like Crazy Raccoon's position more as they get set up a little bit more. They got Bell Mines, the turret is already out and the game just started, and that's the fourth player inside the game. So at this point, I think it's Crazy Raccoon's game to lose. I think that they should be winning this game pretty handily at this point, but they do have mech and they are able to grab some control back. But as long as, you know, the mech doesn't get too much value too fast, you can see that they focus Meg so fast and do it so well. I'd like to see Tensai placing a couple more traps on the ground, but he does patiently wait. There's no really need to do it because, again, they have so much control. And if Tensai ever gets low, Moya just heals. So there's nothing that Milkrio can do with the Janet on the right side. And I think this is just going to be straight up GG. There's nothing really looking good for him at this point. 10% left to go. That's game. Let's get to the next. Game number 2. I love the changes that Aphelion made inside this game. So first change they're gonna make is they're gonna go Janet on the left versus Penny. Now this is so in favor of Janet. One being it's a good matchup for Janet in the first place, plus it's also the winning side. Very hard for Tempo to win. Then they go Meg mid, versus the Belle. Now that's a pretty tough matchup to win, but eventually Meg will get mech and then be able to kind of grab time freely, whereas Belle has to hit a ton of shots to really get the time inside the mid. But you can see that they're gonna make a nice play and a nice adjustment, Crazy Raccoon, and they're gonna play from the right side. They realize that there's no one on this team that can really take the left side versus the Janet. Seems like Moyo's gonna give it a go, but I liked how they did move over to the right side to try to play that side and try to make it work the best. Now they're gonna see also switch Penny to mid. So many switches happening between the teams right now and so many adjustments being made mid-game, which I love to see. And that's really how I love playing Brawl. I love the fact that these guys are doing it so easily and so like quickly. But either way, so far so good actually for Aphelion. Now they have the control they need. Meg has that shield, which is actually kind of broken, and soon gonna grab another mech. Now Tempo needs to probably place his barrel here very soon, so that way mech can't really get mech. And you can see the value that they're getting. But Dembski gets a nice kill onto the right side, pushing up now, trying to take them out. They got another Penny turret, but again, it's looking pretty grim for them right now as Moya goes down. Not great right now for CR. They're gonna have to try to hold this control. They got basically one last attempt. If they lose control one more time, it's probably over. I'm waiting for Tensai to place a gadget. I'm not sure why he's not. Really kind of tilting me right now. If he doesn't place a gadget and they walk up, you know, could cost them the game, really. So there, they finally places the gadget. I was hoping for a little bit sooner, but it still doesn't really matter. It goes down, and Moya's gonna try to take out Meg. Meg's gonna get that kill, also pop the mech in time. Now it's looking really bad. Moya goes down. Tensai's about to go down. Janet again onto the Penny, the matchup that they want. This is not looking good for them, and I don't think they're going to be able to come back, especially if they take down Tensai. 9 seconds left, they can almost just stand it. I do not think they can kill him fast enough. And that's going to be the game. Let's get into game 3. Game 3, Aphelions going to stick with the same strategy of going in these same lanes. Honestly, I think it's the best possible lane matchups for them. The only other possibility was go Meg, right? But I think that just gets destroyed by Penny. So again, I like the matchups that they stuck with. And Dempsey is also going to do a really good job versus this Penny on right side, which is probably the worst matchup of the match right now. And so if you can, you know, win that side, then you're just doing God's work. And that's exactly what you need. So either way, so far, it's just all Aphelion. They have mech, they're juking shots, they pop Meg gadgets as fast as possible. Look, Tensai can't really push up because he gets swiped. Meg's gonna go out of mech, I think, right about now. And actually, the healing is kind of crazy, but the mech will go down. And again, 57% already. Milkrio is just in a god spot right now. This is the spot where he wants to be. Pretty hard to take him out. Dempsey's just going to try to stay alive. You can see that they focused him. You can also see that Crazy Raccoon made the adjustment. They went to the right side like I was talking about earlier. They're going to play from the right. They know they can't go left. And they're going to try their best to just completely win this right side. They do grab a kill, but the Meg will just grab another one. It's just not looking good. At this point, 80% to 4. They'd have to have a miracle hold, and they just would... No one has to die. Like, no one can die, and it looks pretty grim right now as Tensai goes pretty low. Milkrio's probably going to go airborne here in just a second. Doesn't actually get the airborne off, but again, 9% left. They're all too low right now. Tensai goes down. That, to me, would probably be the game. You can see Milkrio flying in. There's so much stuff going on. Actually, it's not quite game because Milkrio's going to probably go down here. Yeah, they're going to get one more attempt at this, but it's only Tensai left, and they just need 3%. I'm pretty sure Suzuka can just literally just walk up, but it grabs a mech anyway. Now it is definitely game over, and Aphelion will take the first set. Let's get into the next one. All right, hopping into set number 2 on Safe Zone. Now, the first pick was going to be Max. Then they go 8-Bit and Eve, and I already think that Crazy Raccoon have an advantage. And I'm not really sure the understanding of going double tank here, with last pick being to Crazy Raccoon, as they also have 8-Bit, and Eve is not even that bad into tanks. This, to me, gonna be outdraft for probably Crazy Raccoon. I think that they just go something to deal with the 2 tanks. Like, I think it can be basically anything. And they do go Griff, which was pretty interesting to me, but I do like it. I didn't think of it right away when I thought about this comp, but I can see it definitely working. Griff good at defending. Once they hold control, I really don't see how Aphelion kind of push up, but let's get into the game, see how they play out. Hopping into the first game on Safe Zone. Now, the biggest thing is going to be whether these tanks can get onto the safe or not. If they can't, then there's no shot. But Suzuka is going to get a nice stun right onto Moya right after a nice kill. And this is actually a great start for Aphelion. This, to me, is probably the best start you can ask for. Dempsey's probably super close to roll. Suzuku's probably decently close to super as well. They do break all the walls, though. You can see, but Moya punishes them, and Tensai has turret already. It's like Tempo has babies. To me, this is already looking very problematic for the side of Aphelion. Suzuku does grab a nice another kill, though. Honestly, very well played. Dempsey's trying to get some damage. I do like that they actually grab a lot here. They do go for the stun. A little too early. I think they honestly saved that a little bit longer, but I like the idea. Again, either way, it's just... right now, Crazy Raccoon's game right now, I think. Even though they're losing, they have full control. They have the 8-Bit turret. I really don't see how these guys get any sort of damage with the tanks. You can see Dempsey's going to roll in, but they can easily just follow up. Saitempo can deal with this by himself, I'm pretty sure. And again, another turret comes out. Moya's about to really punish this Buzz pick, and this is what I was expecting more often. You can see that they're going to grab damage. Max is trying, but there's so many babies on the map. There's so much things. Again, another stun grabs another kill. Here's the aggressive turret, and this is where the game starts to change for the worst for Aphelion. There's a lot of damage from 8-Bit, and again, pretty difficult. They're going to try to take out this 8-Bit turret, but again, so much pressure from the Griffs, from the 8-Bit. just not looking great. And actually the turret goes down, so there's possibility. Nice stun from Zuzuku does go down though. But again, not looking great. They all go down. They didn't really grab any percentage. They grab more supers on the side of Crazy Raccoon, and this is looking really, really tough. Suzuku's gonna have to hit a crazy stun, and I mean, he's been hitting every single super, and still they are losing, so I'm not sure how they really make any sort of adjustment to go any better for them. But again, they're about to go for damage here. You can see that Tensai and Moya are looking to grab some. They do grab a kill onto the turret, I guess, and Dempsey is probably gonna go in, but I think Tempo just deals with this. He got about 1,000 damage and gave another super to Tempo, so to me, that's just better for Crazy Raccoon. Every single scenario here, and again, there's so much damage going down. I don't see how they ever get to the safe, and they're gonna grab this first game, so let's get to the next. Game number 2, honestly, there's going to have to be some miracle plays by the side of Aphelion, in my opinion, and a lot of it's gonna be Suzuku hitting those stuns, but does go down so fast. You can see how much damage these guys put out. That is a team wipe already with a turret, the 8-bit turret, the powered up 8-bit turret. Look at the damage already flying out. Beautiful stun by Suzuku, but it's not enough. They're just not enough. Like, I mean, this is basically it. There's nothing more to talk about. Another Griff super coming out. That's a ton of damage. 15% left on the safe. It is game over, guys. They just need one more push. And how do you push with 2 tanks into all this? Tempo is just having fun right now. Gonna place the super. He's gonna end the game by himself. Griff's coming in, does get stunned. Suzuku's trying his best. It's just not going to work. There is the game. Let's get to the next set. All right, hopping into the third set on Super Beach. Now, the first pick for Crazy Raccoons is going to be Crow. Now, that is much different than NA. NA would probably pick B here, and you can see that Aphelion quickly answered with the B, and I do think that matchup is definitely in favor of the B in the mid matchup. It's not a crazy difference, but it's pretty tough for Crow to actually win that. Crow can kind of hold it for a long time, and Crow provides probably a little bit more utility, but again, they lock in the Spike last pick, and I think this was a very good last pick versus the Surge, Sandy, and Crow. Does good against all 3 of them. Now, Nita is going to have a little bit of difficult time versus the Surge, but should have a decent time versus Sandy. That's all about matchups. Let's get into the game. All right, as we're hopping into the first game, you're going to notice Moya is pretty hard stuck level 1 as of Surge right now. And it's going to be very hard for Moya to get a level. And you can see they already grab a kill. Spike's a pretty tough matchup for Surge. And honestly, Nita's pretty good into Sandy. This is something that, you know, we've tested around with a little bit, but again, they kind of show it here a little bit more of how good Nita is into Sandy. But either way, again, they're switching matchups, trying their best to get this level for Moya. Moya really needs to switch. You can see they make the switch right about now. And I'm surprised Aphelion didn't go for a bit more of a punishing kind of play here as they tried to switch. But Crazy Raccoon get the switch off pretty easily. And you can see Moya already starting to do some work, already starting to get the level onto Nita, and gets up into this control area on the right side. This is looking a little bit worse for Aphelion, but not terrible because of the fact that B still has control of the mid, and Spike doesn't have a bad lane at all inside of this matchup. Spike is going to probably win every single matchup on this left side. It's mostly just whether or not Moya can kind of, you know, repeat that onto the other side, but they get a nice slow onto Tensai, and here they waste no time into punishing them. The 3K onto Tempo. Tempo has to stun here, but the 3K comes out. Milkrayo scores a very nice goal, and it is now 1-0 for it's now 1-0 for Aphelion here. And again, 3K coming out. This is what I'm talking about, the B matchup versus the Crow. Pretty tough for Crow to actually get anything done, but it looks like they might be able to score here. Now, they do go a little bit too early. I see the vision. Milkrayo thought that the Nita shot was going to go out. They were just going to shoot there where the Nita goes, where the Nita shot goes, kills Tensai and scores, but unfortunately was not the case. And they are able to defend. So Tempo now with, you know, a little bit of control on this right side, does have stuns, can look for some possible goal opportunities, but they do take out Tensai in the mid. But the good thing right now, or the only thing really going for Crazy Raccoon, is Moya is powered up. Moya right now is level 3. That is what you need with the Surge. Tempo gonna go look for a play, gets a nice little stun onto Dempsey. Pretty low right now on the sides of Aphelion. Everything going a little crazy. Nita should probably go down in this right corner, but you can see Tempo sneaking in. This is a player to watch. Has the stun. The unstoppable Sandy goal, really, unless you shoot them by accident. But Sandy grabs the goal. Now they go into overtime. So this is a little bit more interesting. Moya does have level 3 with the gadget, but needs level 3 permanently, or this is going to be really, really tough for the side of Crazy Raccoon. Now, Moya grabs the shot, has level 3. This, to me, is pretty close inside of matchups. B is definitely has a good field day here. But Spike also has a pretty good job. They do take out Moya. Moya's going to be level 2. It's not looking good for the side of Crazy Raccoon if you're a Crazy Raccoon fan right about now. But you can see Milkrio has 3K. It's probably not going to punish the side of, Moya level 2. Dempsey actually gets a bear. Now, I actually understand how they got the bear because, Sandy can't really walk up to anybody either. So it's basically just Nita and Sandy can't do anything kind of matchup. But right now they're pushing up. It's looking really good for the side of Aphelion. 3K comes out. Moya goes one shot. They do need to kill these people, but Dempsey doesn't want to push it too early. The poison stops Dempsey from healing. Gets the kills, but Tensai defends. So we'll grab a tie. Let's get to the next one. All right, next game, and you can see what I was talking about, this Nita matchup, and also B, I guess, just destroying the mid right now. Dempsey's in there right now. Does grab one kill. Tempo is going to try to defend, but there's nothing they can do. They're going to wait a little bit longer, try to get some supers, just score the goal, kill some time. But either way, looking really strong for Aphelion right at the start of this match. They have bear and everything. Moya's still level 1, using the gadget to get level 2, but it's not enough, as they also win mid. Now, Moya's trying very hard right now and has to juke basically every curveball walk up, has to do everything here. But again, level 1, still nothing they can really do. And you can see how patient Aphelion are. They're not charging Moya at all. They're waiting until Moya's gadgets run out. Again, Moya's about to go down, has the super. Moya is not going to get, I don't even know if he got a single hit. And it's already 1-0 right now. Tensai's going to go slow, but doesn't get any hits, actually. Good jukes from him, trying his best to push up, but there goes the kill. There comes the Nita Bear, and there's nothing Tempo can do versus this Nita Bear. Gonna try his best. Gonna go down eventually, but they get pushed back all the way to the spawn. Again, Crazy Raccoon's going to jump in with Crow. Moya's going to actually try to make a play here. I like this aggressiveness from them. They're going to probably kill Spike here, and they get actually a little bit more control than Aphelion wants here for sure. Dempsey's the only one really healthy in a good spot. Milkrio is going to try his best to hold them back, but again, Moya putting on the pressure on this left side. Crazy Raccoon does get tapped in the mid though, Crow, Tensai. But again, back to neutral position really here. Again, no one can really push up. It's going to have to come out from Sandy or a stun. They need a Sandstorm ASAP. There comes a slow. They're going to grab a kill onto Dempsey. So this is their opportunity. They probably can score here. Moya definitely has to stay alive. Tempo has to push up with the gadgets. And they need one more Crow slow. So it's about to go down here. Can the Spike Super connect on Tempo? Look how patient they are. Tempo could just go for this, but he doesn't want to wait. He wants to wait until they get a little bit lower. And again, everyone is so patient on the side of Aphelion, and nicely done from Milkrio to back up just a hair more, not get stunned, walk back into range to catch the ball. That's going to be the game. And again, let's get to the next one. All right, hopping into game 3 here. And I just want to talk about quickly how patient these guys are and how disciplined both of these teams are in that last scenario. No one panicked. No one. They waited their perfect opportunity. By the way, Aphelion scored. But either way, again, just wanted to quickly mention that this is looking so good for Aphelion. And this Nita pick is really, really working out. Again, Tensai, or Side Tempos, excuse me, is going to go extremely low. Does heal up. But again, Moya has a pretty hard time of getting any shots in on Dempsey. For some reason, I thought this Nita pick would have been worse against the Surge. There comes the slow. There comes the kill. And this is looking a little bit better for Crazy Raccoon, but the Spike Super comes out. Tensai, again, juking very, very well. Moya has the level, jumps in. This is looking pretty good for the side of Crazy Raccoon. They're going to do the jump in. He's going to get the ball, but I don't think he can score yet. Moya's trying his best, but there is a bear, but they're going to score this, even out the game 1-1. And now they really have to put on the pressure. They need this win here. If they go down 2-0, it's going to look pretty tough for them. And Moya has level 3 ready to go. Does tap up Nita right now. So this is looking good, but Side Tempo needs to survive. If Side Tempo gets hit here, it's not going to be good as Spike grabs control. Here comes a super out for Spike. Does push back Side Tempo. Side Tempo's not going to be able to stay there, but he's juking curveball expertly. Does get a couple shots, so nicely done there, doing his best. And again, Crazy Raccoon are going to try to go for a stun onto Milkrio. Would have been a kill if it did connect. Again, this is, so close. Any kill here is going to decide the game, and this map is pretty slow, to be honest. It really just comes down to positioning of the ball, positioning of the team and players, and, if someone makes a mistake and dies. So either way, Moya's going to wait patiently, does have super ready to go, does grab one more shot onto Dempsey, trying to push up here, but doesn't want to panic. I think, honestly, Moya should probably pop super. That way, have the level 3 to threaten the B, but also wants to save it just in case Nita does push up. That way, Nita can't push up at all. Here comes the poison. And honestly, they might wait to overtime. If I was Crazy Raccoon with this positioning, you could probably wait to overtime, but I don't want to wait too long, because I do think the B and the Spike do some pretty nasty things in overtime. So again, Tensai trying to grab some connects here, probably going to slow instantly. Here comes the Sandstorm. I love how the timing works out with 2 seconds left. This is actually, in my opinion, looking great for Crazy Raccoon, but the poison is coming out from Tensai. Milkrio does have 3K, grabs a nice shot onto Saitempo, forces the jump, still has one more 3K, hits Moya, is literally tapping right now, does get a slow onto Sandy, excuse me, grabs the kill onto Saitempo. If they don't get that slow, it's looking really bad for them, but I think they're going to be able to defend, and Dempsey is dodging for the life of him right now, trying to dodge the surge and doing a pretty good job, honestly. So again, right now, it's just a question of, can B pop off, or can Crow and Surge really pop off instead? But Saitempo always in a tough spot. Again, Sandy, not a great matchup anywhere here right now. And this game is going to go down to the wire. 15 seconds coming onto the clock right about now. Surge does have super, goes for the goal. They do defend. They're going to... Please don't tell me this is another tie. I might have missed this. I think this could be another tie. Or Crazy Raccoon grabs the kill, grabs the goal here. Actually, yeah, never mind. Crazy Raccoon just scored. Nicely executed by them, and so patient. Let's get the next game. All right, hopping in to the last game on Super Beach. Now this map is a little bit slow paced, so bear with us. But again, it's going to be who makes the mistake first. Now they do have Surge onto the Spike onto the Surge, excuse me. That's the matchup they want on this right side. B again, mid versus Crow. I would probably say it's in favor of B, but Tensai makes it work with the Crow juking basically all the shots, and the slows are so nasty. But either way, Dempsey's trying to get sort of bare against Saitempo without charging the super. I want to see Dempsey push up a little bit more, play a little bit more aggressive. I think you can push up against the Sandy, but if you get hit by the Crow like you just did, it's going to be pretty tough as they get slowed inside the bush. And also Saitempo got super as soon as Dempsey started pushing up. So very bad timing there, unfortunately, for Dempsey. Suzuku is going to hit the slow, grabs one onto Tensai, but it's not looking good. They're going to be able to score this goal, and Crazy Raccoon are gonna grab the lead and just need one more goal to even, or to take the lead in sets, excuse me. So Moya again, level 4 ready to go, or level 3, excuse me, ready to go here. Milkrio is pushing up. It's actually looking pretty good for them. He does jump onto Suzuku. Suzuku goes down. Moya is going to do his best here on the right side, but he's kind of trapped off by this B pot. Milkrio is staying alive, doing some work. Dempsey's going in here. I believe they actually might be able to score this. Oh my god, that was very well executed by Aphelion. Very clutch, honestly, because if they don't grab that goal, this could get pretty tough for them. Overtime's in their favor as long as Moya doesn't pop off. So honestly, huge goal. If they don't grab that goal right there, I don't think they can win this game. Huge 3K from Milkrio. Now the Spike super coming out. Look how fast they push up, not wasting a single second. Moya's the last person standing. They're gonna be able to grab this ball. Probably Tensai. There's no way Tensai gets out with this ball. Super pass, and goal. And Aphelion take 2-1 against Crazy Raccoon. Let's hop into the next one. Hopping into Bell's Rock. Now this is technically match set for Aphelion. If they win this, they do move on to the finals match. But here's how the draft played out. Now, surprisingly enough, Sprout was last pick. To us, that's kind of crazy in NA. Honestly, I think Grom and Sprout would have been picked much earlier inside the draft, but that was not the case here. And Squeak versus Sprout, we actually found out the hard way, is a very tough matchup. Let's hop into it. Let's get more in detail. All right, hopping into this one now, I quickly want to mention how much stronger I think Sprout is than Squeak here. I think it will be a very hard match for Crazy Raccoon to win this. And for the fact is, Squeak really can't do anything like versus Sprout. You can see Sprout starting to walk up now. As soon as Sprout gets wall, the game is completely different. Also, Milkrio gets a nice shot onto Tensai. Tensai trying to survive. Another curve comes out. Milkrio grabs the kill, and at this point, round over. They already won the round. There's no way Saitempo 1v3s unless some crazy mistakes happen on the side of Aphelion, but they're just going to charge some supers, and you can see that there's no rush. They grab the kill, they grab the Sprout wall, and 1 round win already for Aphelion. And here is where I'm talking about. This Sprout wall is going to change the game. As watch, block off the Squeak. What does Squeak do? There's nothing Squeak can do. Sprout walks up, hits 2 shots onto Squeak, hits 1 more shot. Squeak is completely one shot, has to back up. Tensai's going to try to make up for the difference, but again, Tensai gets put in a bad spot. There's nothing they can do. 1 goes down, and in 2v3, there's just really no shot. I mean, a nice Nice. Gus Super coming out from side tempo, but you can see that they're already one shot. They're pushed into the corner. Another Sprout Wall can just come out and block one of them off just about now. Moya gets pushed into a literally death trap. There's nothing Moya can do, and that is game. Game 2, and again, talking about this draft, I think this draft is so hard for Crazy Raccoon to play. In my opinion, this is a 80-20 draft, maybe 75-25, but it would require some amazing plays from Crazy Raccoon to really pull off this win. I don't see how they're going to do it, but let's watch, because it is Crazy Raccoon. They are the world champions. You can see Milkrio pushing up to Tensai, using the curveballs effectively to get complete control. Suzuku has literally all the control in the world with the Sprout Wall. Could have picked it up if he wanted to, but literally there's no point. I mean, he's going to get another one in a couple shots. Has it right now. Tensai goes down to Piper. Pretty tough with all the curves. Milkrio grabs another, and that's a round win. One more round and Aphelion upset the world champions, and it's looking like they're going to be able to do so. They still have curves. Sprout's probably really close to wall. Sweet's gonna have to make a crazy play on Sprout. To be honest, if I'm Moya right now, I'm thinking, all right, well, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna have to make some crazy play. You can see Moya pushing up like crazy. Honestly, I love it. Like, you have to do something, right? Moya's gonna play super aggressive. They gotta make a play. The squeak circle is pushing Sprout into a weird spot, but there's the Sprout Wall. There's all the pressure gone in the world. I'm just going to pick it up, place it a little bit higher. There goes all of Moya's pressure, and now it really comes down to the lanes. If Saitempo or Tensai can win a lane early, they have a shot, but if not, it's going to be game over. As the game goes on, it's really, really tough. I'm surprised that Sprout didn't pick up the wall there, but again, it only takes a couple shots. You can see Saitempo making a play. Look how aggressive they have to play. Does hit a nice shot onto two of them, but unfortunately does go down. It looked so good for them for a second. Dempsey's so low. They do grab one kill. This is a little bit winnable, but it is too late. They're too low, and they get trapped in the corner. Moya, last person standing. There is no shot that they lose this 2v1, and that is going to be the upset. Crazy Raccoon lose. All right, guys, so that's how Aphelion were able to take down the world champions, Crazy Raccoon. Pretty crazy game. The last one was an unfortunate draft by the side of Crazy Raccoons. It does happen. It happens to the best of teams. But either way, very well played to Aphelion, and honestly, super well done all around the board. But if you guys want to see me break down more matches like this, let me know in the comments what match you want to see. But either way, like, subscribe, see you in the next one. Peace.